Well, hi, friends. Today is August 8th. It's the 8/8 portal. Today, I woke up really early, which is not like me. Here lately, I've been getting plenty of rest, but today I woke up extraordinarily early. The 8/8 portal is about abundance and spiritual awakening and your personal power, right? Oh my gosh, that's the weird. Alexa off. What time is it? 4:44. Well, 4:44 on the 8/8 portal. Here we are. Okay, so when I was getting ready to tell you about the spiritual awakening and the personal power and abundance, that first lineup is exactly what that says. So you can't even make this up. I realize people that are new to Lenormand don't realize some of the meanings of these cards. Now, the sun in the center, that is the most powerful card in the entire deck, and it lights up the entire spread there. And if you see the coffin, that would be like a rest or sleeping or, a period of being away. And then the tree next to it is growth, right? Growth. And then I see a little bit of expansion going on there, right? Because we've got the bear. The bear is very large. The bear is very powerful. It also requires us to have courage, okay? Now, my mirror is there as well. So, as above, so below. And this is just personally, probably, I don't think that this goes along with the Lenormand traditional meanings of things. But kind of, sort of, because of the clouds being a air sign and being psychological in nature. And then the mountain there, they resemble to me. They look like, the as above, so below to me. The mountain is shaped even very similar to my clouds. So that's why it brings out that feeling to me, okay? So I guess what we're trying to say here is that we need to internally feel what we would like to externally express. Okay, so you can't just say your intentions or your the way that you would like things to be. You also have to feel it, and you also have to, in other words, you have to act as if you already have it. It's the only way I can describe it. And I'm not trying to sound self-focused or self-centered or egotistical or anything like that. I'm just saying, in order to express things outwardly, you have to have a belief that you are able to achieve, experience, have the abundance in your life. You have to already believe that. So, yeah, it is a learning and process kind of a field too, though. So the upper left-hand corner is that stork, and that stork is progress, momentum, movement. It wants to move forward. And then we've got the home. That would be all of the people that are close-knit to you, see? So that could be your work, that could be your family life, but then I see those darn mice. So that's where those doubts come into play, and it's also expressed with the clouds there. So that's what I'm trying to say. You have to have the belief system in place in order to move forward and make the changes and the progress that you would like to see in your life, right? Be the change you would like to see in the world as well. So, which is also kind of, in the center there we have the tower. The tower is very official. So with the snake being there, the knowledge, the tree kind of gives off that as well. The book does. And then I see the clouds once again. So that's information, that's your thoughts, that's your, the things, your inspirations, your ideas, start journaling. Maybe also go back and look at what was going on in your life back on 8/8 of last year. That's going to give you a real good feeling about how far you've come, what goals you had set at that time, and maybe now, once you take like an inventory, maybe now that you are a little bit wiser, now you can really, tackle that and get focused, okay? We've got the lilies there with the whip. That would be your lifestyle change. And it feels a little bit fast paced because of the horse being there. So I say just take the horse by the reins, have that ambition that's required. Now the lilies, but they also have that feeling of a softer energy and a lifestyle that is maybe a little bit more fast paced, but I feel like there's more wisdom attached to it. So now that you know better, now you can really focus in on the details. Okay. I do see the fox there as well, which the fox is, he's very, very intelligent. And when you couple it with the moon, that's very instinctual. So, follow your hunches, your gut instinct. Your body knows before you do. Your higher self knows before you do. But you have to just tap into that. We already know everything. We're just here to remember it, is my philosophy. Now we've got the cross there, and we've got the ship. That is a karmic, destined, either a relationship or a destination. Those are the turning points kind of in our life that we look back on. And it's not, it's the journey. It's the, those small steps that complete the entire project, right? So, you can take inventory of what's going on in your whole life, and you can look back and see how far you've come. There's going to be, some challenging events, but those are the things that once you get through, make you stronger, right? And we learn by doing. So, if the stork were, with that leap of faith feel over here, take that leap, and having faith is so foundational, and it, yes, we all have that power within us, but I also feel that, we can use a little bit of help from our friends and the higher ups, in our faith-based systems, in our peer groups and friendships and family. We all work together to create this life of ours, right? But the boat, when I look at the ship, I think of who are those people that are on your ship, right? Because you're like those 5 closest people, and you have to really take, you have to take heart in knowing who and what is in your best interest, right? So, just be mindful of that, and surround yourself with the people that can help you, promote you, support you. Now there's the enablers, though. We're all here and we're all in it together, and we don't want to leave anybody behind. But sometimes those enablers, sometimes, and I hate to use this phrase, but sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. You can't always do things for others, or take the abuse, or those sort of things. You have to draw the line somewhere, and you have to create your boundaries, and you have to be firm in that. No empty threats. So mean what you say what you mean without being mean. So kindness is highlighted here as well. That softer energy. When we discipline our children, we should do it with care, not with harsh aggression. Okay. Let's see, what else do I see? Here I am looking at my cards through the video screen, the phone screen, and it's not as vibrant to me. So I'm trying to look both ways here. The book and the snake, that is wisdom, and so is the tower. The tower kind of has that expert, professional, official feel to it. So, look back and see how far you've come. I feel like, you've come a long way, baby. Oh, let's see. I love to see the key. Oh my gosh, look at the stars, the sun, the clover, and the key. That is wish fulfillment. That is, your ambitions, your hopes, your dreams, all of those things. They're moments. They can be fleeting, but each moment adds up. And we're on here. We're on the journey we're on this journey, and sometimes we have to course correct. We can't just go and without a care in the world, but if you do it with just the right amount of faith and ambition, I feel like you'll look back and you'll say, wow, that was quite the ride. Don't let anything stand in your way. If there are I in that congregation there of Lily's ring, fox and the fish, that speaks of a lifestyle with offers and commitments and engagements, that sort of a feel to it. What is your purpose? And we came here on earth to do the things to accomplish soul growth, right? So that's the kind of the portal, back to the portal of spiritual awakening, and it's about abundance and your personal power. We came here on earth to accomplish these goals, but we didn't set out to accomplish them by ourselves. So if you do need help, please ask for it, because we all need a little help from our friends, right? Going it alone. The reason why I say that is those two towers there, that kind of has that alone, lonely, time of the past feel to it. It's time to get back up on that horse and move forward. So, and I love to see, even though the whip is there, I feel like it is a change, but it's, change in the right direction. Because if you notice that once the hardship kind of feel to it with the mountain or the blockages, things start to open up, and there's like a breaking, maybe a break wall. I don't know. It just has like, it could be protection too, or boundary kind of a feel too. I just feel like once you make the next step, then it will become obvious what you need to do next, but you still have to take action, okay? Finances are in order. I just feel like that's improvement, because we see the sun and the moon is to the right of that with the clover. So that has a real good feel to it. And the key is certainty and a solution and a final result. But it definitely has your ships are coming in feel. So I like to see that. So yeah. So the 8-8 portal, it's about personal empowerment, abundance, and spiritual awakening. So, and here I woke up really early. So my awakening happened literally. All right, friends, you have a blessed day. Happy 8-8 portal. I love you all. Take care.